a lot of things to know when it comes to playing Rainbow Six Siege. The game itself is all about maintaining a balance between attacking and defending. Since the release of the game, Rainbow Six Siege has added a ton of new operators to their roster, including both attackers and defenders. There are also so many different things to think about when picking an operator in terms of who is the best for which objective site, the map you're playing on, what players are expecting their opposing team to pick, and many more. To narrow it down a little bit, GameRant is going to tell you the 10 best defending operators in Rainbow Six Siege. As a side note, the operators chosen are not in any particular order and have been included because of how often they will be a solid choice. First up, we have Maestro. This operator is a solid choice on most objective sites in the game. He's a 3 health, 1 speed operator, meaning he's much better suited towards playing an anchor as opposed to a roamer. His gadget also further supports this playstyle. Maestro's Evil Eye cameras are entirely bulletproof when they are closed, that is, but they can be meleeed, causing the camera to only be usable when Maestro has it open. If an attacker wants to get rid of the camera completely, they'll have to bring some explosives or use Sledge's hammer. His camera also utilizes thermal vision, allowing him to see through smoke while on the camera. Players can also fire energy beams that don't do a lot of damage to the enemy players, but the damage can certainly stack up over a few seconds. In the right hands, Maestro is a very strong defender. Next up is Ekko. Ekko is a 2 health, 2 speed, and is a very powerful operator in the game. Equipped with 2 yokai drones that can hover around on the floor or ceiling, he's an excellent intel operator. These drones can spot enemies and fire concussion blasts that disorient attackers for a short period. This concussion effect doesn't impede movement like Ella's Grismont mines, but it does prevent attackers from planting the diffuser. This means an Ekko in a safe location can easily prevent attackers from accomplishing their objective if time is running short. Our next defender is an excellent intel counter to the enemy team. Mute is a 3 health, 1 speed operator and is also a very good anchor to have on your team. Mute comes equipped with signal disruptors that disrupt enemy drones in the area, as well as other technical gadgets like hard breach devices and Jackal's visor. They also stop Dokkaebi from having the chance to call the player's phone, provided that player is in range of the jammer. Well-placed jammers can really stop the attackers from gaining useful intel into certain rooms, making Mute a great pick for just about any objective in the game. Next, we have Kapkan. This 2 health, 2 speed operator is fantastic for making attackers waste their utility gadgets and catching them off guard. Kapkan comes equipped with 5 entry denial devices, which are packed C4 charges activated when motion is detected. These can be placed on doors and window frames, denying key entry points for attackers. His entry denial devices also deal around 60 damage when the enemy detonates the device. When properly positioned along inconspicuous objects, in varying heights, or putting multiple devices in one spot, the entry denial devices can weaken the enemy's offensive and delay attackers for a significant amount of time. Valkyrie can be one of the most frustrating defenders to play against. She is a 2 health, 2 speed operator, and her black eye cameras can be thrown anywhere inside the map. She gets 3 of these sneaky little cameras, so she can cover a huge area of the map if they're placed strategically, and they're not the easiest cameras for attackers to find either. Valkyrie can be an invaluable asset to roamers on her team, allowing them to have a ton of extra intel they typically wouldn't have, giving them the chance to act in situations they would normally need to be more cautious in. She's a very strong support operator on any team. Up next is Lesion. It's very difficult to catch this operator off guard. He is a 2 health, 2 speed operator, and his gadget is a goo mine that does recharge over time, but he only gets 8 of them total during the round. When stepped on, they make a very loud noise, alerting defenders to the attacker's position. They also cause slight damage over time and stop attackers from sprinting. The goo mine can be pulled out, but it does leave attackers vulnerable for a second or two to do so. Lesion can blanket a wide area with his goo mines through a round, making it difficult for attackers to just rush into the sites. Dubar was an operator who was released during Year 8, Season 4, and was immediately a force to be reckoned with. He is a 2 health, 2 speed operator, and his Zoto canisters not only freeze areas to slow enemies down, but also drops the temperature to such a degree that gadgets are rendered useless for a period of time. This dual-purpose nature of his gadget makes him very compatible with trap, gadget denial, and area denial specialists. He has become a very good defender to have on your team since his gadget is very versatile. Fener is a trap operator that's able to stop opponents in their tracks. His gadget, F-Not Dread Mines, can stick to surfaces and emit obstructive gas when they are activated by attackers, obstructing the attacker's vision and hearing. Placed strategically, these gadgets can help Fenrir and his team turn the tables and capitalize on eliminating an enemy attacker. When placed near other traps or sensors, more aggressive defenders could finish off the attacker before they even noticed something was wrong. Up next is Soless. Soless is effectively the defender version of IQ with a twist. Her electro sensor allows her to aid defenders by pinging and identifying enemy electronics with its augmented reality abilities. Soless can tell her teammates where certain gadgets are so they can immediately counteract the strategies of their opponents. One of her most common use cases is finding enemy drones. Since she is able to spot them with her gadget, many Soless players will spend the prep phase running around looking for enemy drones in order to give the attackers less intel. However, attackers have to be on their drones in order for Soless to spot them. Last but certainly not least is Zomi. This 2 health, 2 speed operator is useful in several different situations. She is armed with Kiba barriers, kunai-style knives that when thrown, transform into foam-like barriers that are mostly bullet-resistant. After a certain number of shots, the barrier will break, but it can be broken quickly with attacker explosives or via melee hits. Unlike other defensive covers, the Kiba barriers can cover almost any entrance or holes in even the most underrated of maps, converting otherwise vulnerable spots into defensive points. She is also great at blocking enemy intel, as her Kibas can be used to block drone holes. This also makes the attackers have to waste time or use their utilities. For players who love adaptable defense and transforming dangerous areas into safe havens, Zomi has the Rainbow Six Siege gameplay style for them. Whether you're a new player to the game or an older player returning after a break, we hope we were able to give you some new intel and new ideas on defenders to play in your games. We wish you the best of luck in your matches and hope to see you again over here on GameRant.